go. There we go.
An
And so I
error
told
occurred.
those maternal fornicators that they were wrong. Okay, I'm not taking that any. Oh, hi there.
I think we're live now. I got some error messages. Hopefully we're good. And yeah, so as you can see from the title, I think I'm starting to crack. I think a lot of people are. And
Oh yeah.
I've had a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
week. I've had a
My-
bad week. And Ron's taking the brunt of my
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 wife,
cracking.
my wife came home at dinner time, and she was flipping. Last night, apparently they hired somebody new. How you doing, Stephen? Sean, feeling a lot better. Thank you, Sean. Last night, apparently they had hired somebody to train with someone else, and that other person wouldn't train them. So she was really upset about that. And so today she comes home at after 5, about a half hour earlier, and she just, from the time that she got home till the time that she left, about, well, what time did were we chatting? She was just
Really?
yep. And yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it's
some Xanax in the water supply. That are, the other thing is, how you doing, David? Like I said, feeling better, Sean? No one's really sleeping well at night. Everybody's anxiety's through the roof.
I've been finding that I go to sleep okay, but then I wake up in the middle of the night and then I'm up for an hour or two, and it's like that ain't good.
Yep. I said to Sarah a couple nights ago. It's like a halftime show. I go to sleep.
That's
I go
pretty
to
good.
sleep about midnight. I wake up about 3. Most not, it's about an hour, 65, 70 minutes where I'm up. Go back to sleep about 4:15. Alarm goes off at 6:30. That's on a night without a nightmare. With a nightmare, it's, oh boy. And so I slept till 5:15 this morning. I was pretty happy. But Sarah didn't sleep well. And so again, it's a case where, and so yeah, between the lack of sleep, we did get good. I don't know what your weather was today.
Oh, it's still chilly. It was like 50, 55 and sunny. It still was chilly. I was chilly on the walk.
We had 65 at lunch today. And so
that's nice. Good for you.
And so instead of doing a ball game, I just said to Sarah, I said, we're going to go outside. And we sat, I have allergies, and that also doesn't really help either. And so we got our takeout order from Dunkin', and we sat outside at a picnic table, and we had iced coffee and sandwiches and hash browns, and it was just nice and relaxing just to sit in the sun and feel warm. It was a little, it's not super warm by any stretch, but it sure beats 40 and rain.
Yeah, no, it did. I didn't get out till after lunch today. I had a couple things to do this morning and stopped off at the Century House and get some more of my chicken. Of course, now they have lines now. You used to just go right in, but now, although I was surprised people were packed in that little place. It's a small place. And so I had to wait outside. And while I'm waiting outside, the wind was blowing my hat off me. Pissing me off. But I get inside and my mask was fogging my glasses and I'm bumping into people. So I'm trying not to go near anybody. But then it's like, I can't see. And I'm like trying to take my mask off so
I can't, and
it's just like, and I'm looking, it's like, they're out of this. So they have that. And the lady's like, what do you want? I'm like, yeah, can I sell those chickens? What? Can I sell those chickens? What? Can I sell those chickens? It's like, chickens.
They don't have an online ordering. There's no curbside, at least.
Yeah. So then she's like, what? She goes, which one? And I'm like, the stuffed chicken. Which one? The stuffed chicken. Now I'm aggravated. I'm anxious now because of everything going on. And it's like, there's a line of people and it's just like a circle. And so it's like, you go and get all these things almost like a buffet. And then you check out and I'm like, well, do I pass these people to get the chickens? Do I wait back? She can't hear me. And then I'm like, and then I forgot. It's like, oh yeah, they have rice one and they have a bread one. I don't know why anybody want the rice one, but I get the one with the bread.
I need the rice one. That sounds good.
So I only get the bread one. So I was like, Can you-
Stuffing is stuffing. I don't really, as long as
Yeah.
it's not giblets, I don't
But
care.
but
what
it's
the hell
just
you
the
stuff
idea
it.
that all she had to do was say rice or bread, because at the time I wasn't thinking. I just was
Right.
like, just get me the chicken. And she said rice or bread. I went, oh yeah. And then so finally it dawned on me after 3 times of like arguing with her. I says, I'm looking over like what? And it's like, oh, the bread one. How many? I want 5. How many? 5. Huh? I felt like I was Charlie Brown's teacher. Finally I went 5.
Yeah, that's. We
Oh, my
were in. It wasn't last week. It was the week before we went to CVS, and the poor woman behind the girl behind the counter. She couldn't have been more than 21, 22. Sarah forgot that we had quarter money, and so she asked for quarter money, and the woman couldn't hear, because when Sarah gets nervous, she gets really quiet like this. And we're wearing the mask because we're in the store. No one.
Yeah, you can't hear anybody talk.
Yeah, and it's like, Sarah, you gotta speak up.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
tough.
yeah,
Everyone's on edge with this. It's so
everyone's
messed
on
up.
edge.
So
It's
I check out and I should have grabbed more stuff. So I decided throwing stuff in the basket, right? I'm like, okay, so I get up to the front and they were nice enough. They're like, they called me up. You're walking by people. There's no way you can stay 6 feet away from people. You'd have to go one at a time in the store.
Yeah, but you got the mask on, so you're not coughing on each other. That's
right.
The thing.
So I get up to the front there, and so I'm checking out, and it's like I'm knocking things over. I'm looking around. It's like, what else can I grab? My glasses are fogged up, and I can't see it. And I'm just out of here, And so the guy looks at me and tells me that he could tell that I was just having a hard time with the whole thing. And I look at him and says, I'm saving lives. I'm saving lives. I have my mask on. I'm saving lives. How many lives did I save today? And I left. He just laughed because he knew I was stressed out.
Yeah.
And then I come home and I get out of the truck and I look and I see my neighbor. It's like, how many lives did you save today, sir? I see you have your mask on. It's everybody I saw getting out of my truck. I said I was losing it. I did. I was losing it today.
The scary thing is that mouth number 2 ordered the Peloton for himself. He's going to be walking himself and is probably in the best shape of anybody I know.
No, mouth number 2 is David's going to play some inside pitch tonight. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't really think the masks doing all that much. That's just me. Maybe they are. Maybe they. I don't know. I mean, hear one thing saying if you're healthy, don't wear a mask. Only if you're sick. Like when we went to the doctor's office back in the day, it said if you're sick, put on a mask. But if you weren't, you didn't put on one. But I don't know. And yeah, Rob, we're not used to living like this. It is very difficult. It really is.
It really is.
So anyway, so mouth number 2. Mouth number 2 is not doing that well.
Okay, the younger dog. I'm trying to.
Mouth number 1 doesn't need a treadmill because I am walking him every day, and pretty soon they're going to probably say you need a mat to walk.
He's got the Peloton. He's the one that's going to ride the bike when this is all over and stay in shape.
Oh man, maybe yeah. No, I took him out again today. I did another. Oh, it wasn't quite 2 months. I did a different. We didn't go around the plaza. I had had enough of the day. It's like, okay, he was like bugging me on the walk. It's like, okay, and we're passing dogs. He's barking at dogs. I'm like, all right, we're getting you home.
I only do the mask once a week, Larry, when we go downtown. If we're in our own yard, I'm not as worried about it.
No, I wear them going into places like today. I mean, I don't know if it's mandatory in this city, but as a courtesy now, I just put it on. I go in. As soon as I come out, I take it off. I get in the truck, and that's it. Yep. Even today, I went to the chiropractor today. This guy's the nuts.
He's wonderful for
this chiropractor has been, not only is he helping out my back, and he's going to try to get the tingling out of my fingers, and he's going to try, he says my back's all messed up from playing hockey and my hips are off and I'm leaning like this when I walk, Are
you listing? Are you the SS Titanic?
I'm listing. I hope I'm not the Titanic. I'm
one
side's higher than the other, considerably higher than the other. So he says,
really?
because he says your hips are all messed up. So he's going to try to put those back, and he's got a couple other things he's doing. And but not only is he like good with that stuff there, and he's walking me through everything, and he's taking his time and explaining
everything.
Is that he's helping my mental thing too. Is he said that he says, look, he goes, get off of Facebook. I know you'll enjoy it, and you're funny on there, but he says just get off of that. And then he says, do your videos. He says, I've seen your videos. You do good videos, and you're good on camera. He says, do it. And I was like, that's pretty good advice. It's like I enjoy the videos, and I enjoy this, and I enjoy the videos I made on my YouTube channel of the games. And he says, stick to that. do that. And so, and yeah, no, Dave, I see what you're saying, Dave. It's like there's so many ways to look at this, and it's not really going away, and I don't know what the answer is. And it's just again, it's just tough because it's a juggling act, really is. It's like it's such a juggling act because you get the virus, you want to take care of the virus, but on the other end, you're hurting people on the other end, like me and a lot of other people. So when do you start helping me? When is it safe to help me risk other people? But there's no right answer. There's no right answer, and I get it, but it's
no
just
right answer. There's no timetable, and for me, that's the most frustrating part. This is now week, whatever, 4, 5, 6 that I haven't. That my wife has done everything for me. She's doing it. We've only snapped at each other once, which is pretty amazing through all that, because it's not close quarters, but we're just really seeing each other. And
it does. It feel like the Twilight Zone. Yeah, sure.
Belfast, David. But again, when do we don't know, and that's the thing. There is no answer, and that, I think, for me, is the most frustrating part. When do we start allowing people back in?
Yeah, and that's a tough thing, is they're asking me sacrifice for the greater good. I don't know if I'm going to have a hockey league when this is done. Depends how long it goes. I don't know. So you're asking me to risk my business and my livelihood for the greater good. So where do I end up in this?
Hopefully there's something good for you at the end of this.
I hope so. But if it's not, then all the people like myself who lost their businesses and lost their jobs, what do we do? Do we go to the people that kept on working? Do we go to the old people that we saved and say, hey, some of that inheritance money needs to come to me because I saved your life? I mean, what am I getting out of this? Seriously, what am I getting out of losing my business? What does this work out for me? Maybe I live. I probably would have lived if I kept going, But anyway, I want to get off of that topic there. I don't want to get on that road. But yeah, I've been snapping a lot more, and I've been
really. I would never have guessed that.
Yeah. Never. So I'm gonna try to stay off some of the. If I go on Facebook, I want to stick with the digital to dice stuff. I want to stick with my games, all the sporting stuff. I want to really get back into posting there.
Don't make Ray come up and Ray and me come down to sit on you. Okay, that's just not what you want.
Yeah, Ray was on last night. Ray was on at 10:30 last night. I was in bed and I was watching on my phone. I was like, oh, cool. So I was like typing in and he was talking about some old times. It was kind of fun.
So I tried out today, to change the subject. I tried out Roberto Civini's basketball, the very quick play basketball game. Now,
okay, yeah, I did one of them. I did the Sweet 16. So what did you have? I did
what's called American basketball, and it pretty much is a derivative of his old game, King of the Boards.
Okay.
I'm telling a story, and he's already starting to crack. The word you were looking for last night was not persnickety. It was curmudgeonly. Ron was curmudgeonly last night. Please get it right.
Was Al persnickety? Or was he more flummaging?
No, flummoxed would be if flummoxed and flabbergasted and surprised, I think, would all be the same words. Flummoxed would be frustrated. You're flummoxed with this whole situation.
Yeah, I am. Okay.
So now you've learned your word today. You're welcome. I won't charge for this session. I'm going to start charging for future ones. Cookies, damn it. I want your goddamn cookie. Your nice cookies. So go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm just
I'm trying to make you laugh.
I know. It's just tough. I mean, there's a lot on my mind today. Like I said, I gotta back off on the cookies. I got an appointment with a new heart doctor. Yeah. So, despite all this, I have to go see a heart doctor.
How
if that's not adding to my stress and anxiety of why I'm cracking. Yeah.
How did the so-called Ron act last night? Are you talking about give the quote fingers?
Hang on a second. And the brownies are too thin. That's funny.
Yeah, the same crap they want, and the brownies are too thin. So
Ron was all right, I guess. He wasn't.
So we're talking about fictitious Ron here again. I am being nice. Are we talking fictitious Ron here?
Yeah.
Fictitious Ron. He was okay. His love of pineapple pizza scares me, but because the real Ron does not do that. But beyond that, anyway. Oh yes, I love Victor Borge. and his punctuation playing the piano. So I tried out this basketball. I tried out the very quick play basketball game. Some of Roberto's games are 1 or 2 dice rolls per round or participant, and they're definitely not quick play. The decathlon game will take several hours to complete, and trying to boil that down to 3 35 40-minute videos will be a challenge, but that's not for here for there.
Okay.
So basically this is a you figure out from different tables how to get a scoring range for both teams. Okay. It's you figure out in the basic game, you figure out 2 things. In the advanced game, it's like 4 things you got to figure out. Still, once you get the ratings to go through, then it's one roll. So it really is about
a lot of his games are like the bigger games. It's just like offense compared to the other team's defense.
Right.
You find the middle spot. That's the column you roll from. Maybe there's an adjustment along the way, and then you have your final column to roll,
right.
and then that tells you your score.
And so once you get that figured out, I did a best of 7 between what I thought was the 79-80 Celtics and Sixers. It was 80-81. Not for here for there. So by the time I got everything set up, I played the 6 games in about 4 minutes. The wrong team won. I'm very upset about this. But you could see the ebb and the flow in the series. The Celtics and Sixers split the first 2 in Boston. Philly
saw that. But was that fun, though? Was it fun?
It was fun. Philly
was fun, right?
Philly took the 2 at the Spectrum. Boston
I love
won
doing those quick play playoffs. I love them.
Boston took game 5 at the Garden, as you'd expect, but because Philly won game 2, Philly won game 6 at the Spectrum, and that was the series.
Yeah. That's fun. I love doing those series, especially the quick play, because you can bang them out, and it's just fun. It just really is. I love that.
So I think, depending on what time we're done tonight or whatever, you do a complete playoff, and you, just like you did when you did the Kill the Power play, you could do it over the course of a night.
And I enjoy that because I have played both. I've played playoff, like a 7-game playoffs with a quick play, and then I played a 7-game playoffs with a non-quick play, like even a shootout's 15-20 minutes a game, but a strat's more like an hour. And I played the 71-72 Bruins Rangers Stanley Cup. I replayed that, right? It was strat. That took me probably, it stretched out over a couple of months. Because I would play. But
you enjoyed every game of it.
I did, but I would play one game, and it'd take me an hour, and then I'd go off and do other things, and then I came back and I played game 2, and I was like, "Oh man, I got to play this. This is so much fun." And then you go off, and then a month later, it's like, "Man, where did I end up with this series? Oh yeah, it's 1-1 going back to New York, And then I played it again, and so finally, I think the Bruins won it in 5. It was only a 5-game series, but it was so. It just took a long time to play it out because it was an hour-long game.
Right.
Whereas the quicker play games, especially one like you did today, you can bang out a series. And like I said, by the time you set it, it's 10 minutes by the time you set it up and then roll all the dice. And
seriously, let's say that if, I did install the update, by the way. I haven't played it yet, but I did install the update.
Oh, I didn't get that yet.
And there was it fixed a couple things with the defense. So
I saw that.
We won't talk about fictitious day to day. I'm still in counseling about fictitious Dave.
You said you got what, 80, 81 or 79, 80?
I bought the entire 80s and entire 90s, but it starts with 80, 81 and goes through. So I have 80, 81 through 99, 2000. Anyway, that's okay. There's nothing wrong. You can have as many Twitch accounts as you want. So let's say you got hooked with the Strat card and dice basketball. You find a season set that you like. And so but you don't want to play every game, or you only want to play 15 or 16 Celtic games or whatever. And so you could use this to fill in to get the scores. You're not a big stat guy. You don't really care if Jordan's averaging 35 a night. That's not why you're playing.
Cool.
And so that would be, those games are the perfect way to fill in for a card and dice game. So you play the games that you want to play out and just set it up for the rest. Once you know how to set up the game, it takes about 2 minutes.
Yeah, the setup takes a little bit longer sometimes, and then you roll the dice. And
he kind of goes with the term algebraically add, which is impossible. You can't algebraically add. You can solve for x, and trust me, x is the neediest son of a bitch I've ever met. Solve your own damn problems, okay? Really, you put up the rant thing. Put up the rant thing.
Hang on a sec. What does Apachata say? Kept listening Monday night. Sound like a classic.
It was a good game.
All right, go ahead.
All right. My 9th grade algebra teacher was a drunk. She's dead now, so I can talk about this.
We all had a drunk back in the day for a teacher, but okay.
Her husband was a dean of students at the local college.
Okay.
And he was a nice guy. And she had a heart attack. And so her classroom was on the top floor. And so she had a study hall the period before in the basement. So it's a 3-floor building. Now, there was an elevator there. And so I had a key. They would have made her a blessed key, as I'm trying not to use dirty words here. Okay? So she had the same 3 minutes to get from one floor to the next that the rest of us did. She, boozer that she was, took the stairs and ran out of breath. And so she was always 5 to 10 minutes late for class.
Okay.
I had this woman 2 years in a row because I flunked it the first year. That was thing number one. Okay. So we're compressing algebra 1 from a 45-minute class into a 35 to 40-minute class. Okay. And I got lost early. I just could not understand the concepts. Okay. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is that she insisted that everything be done in pencil. Now, pencils and mouth writing are two things that don't go well.
Right.
You just can't press enough. So everything is smudged. Okay. No game for me tonight, David. Tomorrow, I'm back tomorrow at noon Eastern. Thing number 3. This is 1984. This is a key thing here, because if you said this today, this is ubiquitous in every house in America. We were required to do our homework on typing paper.
Ooh.
So I'm doing it on single sheet typing paper with a pencil. Don't think that's too intimidating, do you?
Oof.
And so I literally flunked the class twice because of that. Because of it was just, I was easily intimidated as a kid. With everything else going on with me, let's do this and let's do that. What's typing paper? Printer paper, essentially. No lead poison. There's graphite in the pencil. There's no lead. And so after the second year, my mother got the school district I was in to pay for summer school in the next town over, which just happened to be in New York State. I lived in a border town. And so much to my surprise, it was a young male teacher who was a baseball fan. That was awesome. And the girls were cute too. That's another story from our day. And so when I mentioned typing paper and pencils, no, Ronnie, you can do it on lined paper with a pen. I got an 85.
There you go. A lot of it comes down to teachers. I got to say, I was a whiz at math, a freaking whiz at high school. And I failed. I didn't fail the class, but they dropped me into a bottom class because I didn't like the teacher and the teacher didn't like me. And so when he would teach, because I didn't like him and he didn't like me, I didn't hear a freaking word he said. And every time he come up to me, he says, "You got your homework?" He says, "Dude, I don't know how to do it." And
I tried. I couldn't do it right. Once we got into
it was just a bad teacher for me. He either taught that in a way I didn't get it, or just because he didn't like me and I knew it, I just hated the guy. So when I went down to my next class, I aced it, and then I aced it the regular way through. I only had 2 classes I struggled with in junior high and high school, and it was both because of the teacher. Every other class, I was an A student, but I had 2 teachers who just didn't like me, and I didn't like them, and I struggled. And I either had to leave the class or I got like a 60. One guy gave me a 60, and I almost stayed back because of him. And I probably would have dropped out of school if I did. I would just give up to see it. You know what I mean? I'm not a failing student, but this guy didn't like me. And so
they would have passed me. If it had 6 homework assignments I'd turn in. And so you got a point off for every homework assignment you couldn't turn in. Well, I didn't understand what the hell was going on. And so my mother was right. She insisted I do this. And I actually took the New York State Regents exam and got like a 75, which was pretty good. Yeah. And I didn't have to because I wasn't a New York student. But if I'm going to play by your rules, I'm going to do what you want me to do. How you doing, Bob? Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thanks for coming in.
So a couple of years later, when I did Algebra 2 and Trig, I
sucked in art. Sorry, I taught. I sucked in art. I did. Yeah, I didn't do well in art any year.
I tried and tried and tried, and I really gave it an honest effort. And one marking period, I got a D+. And instead of selling me down the river, teacher pulled me aside, said, "You need a tutor." Okay, I'll take a tutor. Because I liked this school and I really was working at it. I didn't feel defeated like I did at the other place. And with that tutor, we had 6-week marking periods. We had 6 marking periods a year. I went from a D+ to a B- in 6 weeks.
Really nice.
Yeah. No, but I worked my tushy off for that. Why did this one teacher want typing paper? Well, you have to remember that, Dave and I are old enough that most of our homework was done in those notebooks that you pull the paper out afterwards. Imagine being a teacher at the end of the day with 100 kids and picking that crap up off the floor.
Yeah.
And I think that was a lot of the reason why was that, you get the little chads that were there from when you and I were tearing it because you weren't doing homework on computers in the mid 80s. Certainly not when Dave, you're 5 years older than me. No, you're 4 years old. When did you graduate?
85.
Okay. 89 here. So, certainly when Dave was in school, you rip the crap out of the notebook papers and stuff gets everywhere. Why she wanted it in pencil, I'm not sure, but I think it was you're now a freshman in high school and you're going to do things my way.
Yeah. And they do, and they have their own way of doing it. And it's just sometimes you butt heads with the teacher. And back in the day, the teacher ruled. Nowadays, the parents go in and they browbeat the teachers. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. The teachers had the right of way.
Right. I don't mind the teacher being strict. You're there for a reason, but there wasn't. That was just. But she would have rolled her eyes if they had given in. We tried to do it on computer, and no, you got to show your work. Yeah, I think most of us in here were students of the notebook paper era. When I was a little bit older, you could buy the packages of 200 sheets that would go in the binders and do homework that way. And then eventually you could just tear off the things. Well, when you're showing your work, and it wasn't like today when you buy the reams of printer copier paper. And some of this typing paper was rice paper thin.
Do you ever have school dreams?
Yes. I'll dream I go back to college and I don't want to be there. And no, Ronnie, you got to go back. You got to go back. Okay, I'll go back. And I realize about 2 or 3 minutes into school or into the dream, why am I here? I like that, Johnny. I bet she did too. I think the reason why we thought that she took the stairs when no one else was walking up there was so she could have a drink on the way up and no one would catch her.
Well, honestly, if I was your teacher, I'd be drinking too. I never had a trapper keeper.
I did.
No, I never knew what they were. I saw the South Park episode and I was like, what the heck is a trapper keeper?
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Didn't know what a trapper keeper was.
They were great the first 2 weeks of school.
I think I had one of those too, Larry. I think I had something like that.
My mom got paddled in school.
Really?
Yes. And it wasn't even by a boyfriend. Okay.
Oh.
Boom, boom.
Yes. Yeah, David. Yes. That's what I was getting at is that I have dreams all the time that I'm back in school and it's like, where's my class? It's like, you hear the bell ring. It's like, man, where do I go? I don't even have my schedule.
I never dream about high school. It's always
I'm always freaking out. It's like, and you know what's funny? There was this Val Kilmer comedy movie. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. It was back in like 1984. It was called Top Secret with Val Kilmer, and he played a musician during World War II that went to Germany to play a concert, and he got in trouble over there. Yeah, because he was supposed to do a concert to try to smooth things over during the war. Okay, it's a comedy though, and there was one scene where he got arrested and he went in jail, right? And he had one scene where he was like in school. He's like, oh my gosh, I didn't study for the test. I don't even know what room it is. I'm gonna fail, and he's freaking out, right, just like that. And all of a sudden, he wakes up and he's getting whipped in the German jail. And he's like, oh, thank God, it was only a dream. But I dream those things. I dream about, going to school, and it's like it sucks, and all the time. All the time. Scott, what's Scott say here?
The school dreams, and my paper bags. My mother would cover them up.
Yeah,
we did wallpaper.
What they're doing now is that whole that new way of math. They need to get rid of that. That is way too difficult, because the problem with that is it takes away everything. Like, I know the multiplication tables in my head. I've done those since I was a kid, and I still know those. And I can whiz through math. But this math that they're teaching these kids now, it's like Mo, Larry, Curly stuff. And it's, and I got a friend of mine. It's like, I was trying to help my kid do math. He's like, I had no clue what to do.
Yeah, I took one look at that one. Thank God.
So there's a petition to get rid of that there, and it's just like, and the funny thing was about the guy that I forget what they call that type of math now. It's some stupid name.
Common Core.
Common Core, yeah, stupid. So one guy actually wrote a check to the school in Common Core, and there was a picture going around the internet. You know what I mean?
It's
funny.
That's
funny. That was great.
My mother talked about when I was in the 5th, 6th, and 7th grade that when she did it 18 years before or whatever she did, she didn't think she'd have to do it again, because your parents end up helping you more with that stuff. I had more homework in the 6th grade than I did in the 10th grade.
I hated school. I'll be honest with you. I hated it. I played hockey. I played hockey for a couple of years and had some fun with it. And then I met a lot of good people in high school. But the like, when I get out there, like, I remember I started working when I was like 16 or 17, and I would call in sick and go to work. I mean, I would like tell my mother, it's like, can I not go to school and go to work today? And I remember going into work, and they're like, you're supposed to be in school. We can get in trouble for this. Like, well, you needed somebody today. I would rather make money than be in school right now. And so we worked it out a couple of times. And I remember saying, I'm fine with this. I would rather work and make money than go to school, because I did not like school. There was the whole thing about you had to be there at this time, and the teacher's yelling at you, and you had to pass and fail, and the anxiety, and you were sweating it out. And
I like
getting teased by the kids, getting bullied by the other kids because if you didn't do something the way. I was like, just get me out of here. Now, that being said, I'm friends with a lot of Facebook with a lot of high school people, and I'm fine with them now. There was the people that I had an issue with, I don't talk to on Facebook.
It's really funny.
But there was a lot of good people.
That's
what I'm getting at. But it just, for me, I wanted to, in fact, what my chiropractor, the guy I went to high school with, I haven't seen him since 1985 when I graduated. I took off my hat and I threw it and I was gone. And I had nothing to do with anybody from high school. I just wanted to get out. And that was just me personally. It's just, I needed to get out of there, and I went to work.
It's really funny. One of the people I butted heads with a lot in my first high school, I'm now good friends with on Facebook. I check on her on a regular basis.
Oh, good.
And it's like,
I know when you're 18, it's different than when you're 50.
Christ,
I get that, but I still hold some grudges against a couple of people that I wouldn't give the time of day.
And the people that I would love to be in contact with, I really do. But there's to the, not that we're in love with each other or anything like that. Sarah doesn't have to worry. But you talk, you sit there for an hour and talk, and it's nice to do that with. I'm so glad that you're doing well, and that it's like things I never thought I would say for 500, Alex, in 1986.
Yeah. And Mike Bozier asked about the brown paper bags. Oh yeah. We did the brown paper bags in the book all the time.
Yeah,
wow, that's nuts. Yeah, imagine that people hitting,
Like I said, my mother got hit. There was a panel in the room, and she was in the 6th grade, and that was 1963, which just really wasn't that long ago. We couldn't be hit. We couldn't be hit. There was one, because I grew up in the same district that my mother went to. They always, that was because did you go to the same school that your mom did?
No, different towns.
Oh my God. And so there was one sub when I was in elementary school. That was my mother's like third or fourth grade teacher. And she was strict. And even, you go back today and go, oh, this wasn't so bad now that I'm older and know that kids are douchebags. And like, no, this woman was nasty. Like, what are you doing around small children? It's one thing for a fifth grader, but
Yeah.
But so every once in a while I'd run into a teacher that my mother had. You're Mary's child, aren't you?
That's that. So when what are you guys 20 years apart?
19.
So if you had a younger teacher, she might be there if she stayed into her 50s or 60s. Yeah.
There was some
Well,
teachers.
that's a lot. Imagine that. Imagine you're teaching and then 20 years goes by. And although, who am I to say that? Because I got guys in my league and their kids start playing in my league and they join my league. They joined my league and they didn't have any kids. And now their kids are playing in my league. And that is, okay, I can see that.
Now there's 6 years between me and my oldest sister. And we all went to the same, we all went to the same high school. But we didn't have the same last name. So when they started school and I had graduated at that point, unless they knew my mother or father or dad, they wouldn't have put 2 and 2 together. So, my sister's got a clean slate. Oh, because my poor sister Mina, I was a good kid in the second high school. I got good grades. And stuff like that. And so there would have been a lot of expectations. Oh, you're not your brothers. You're not your brother at all.
Yeah, no, we
would have been fair.
I didn't have that. I just went through and I don't know what it was. There was a handful of teachers that just didn't like me. And there's some teachers that loved me, just love me to death.
There was there was a lot of animosity at one school and a lot of skirt chasers at the second school. And one of my best Facebook friends is my 10th grade English teacher. Love her to pieces.
I got I think I told you this before on the show that my favorite class, one of my favorite teachers was a TV production guy. We did TV production class. And this guy ran a farm in Danvers. And I was like, how do you run a farm and then know all the stuff about TV production, right? And about probably 4 or 5 years ago, I was over my brother's house and they're all sitting there, chilling out, having a beer, talking. And there's this guy sitting at the table. I'm like, dude, weren't you my TV production teacher? He's like, oh yeah, Dave, how's it going? It's like, dude, I loved you. I loved your class. I couldn't wait for TV productions. And it was like so cool. I'm not friends with him or anything, but it was just cool that I got to talk to him and tell him how much I enjoyed being in his class. And there was another time too that I ended up on the golf course. And this was probably going back, 16 years because I was with Sharon's dad, and he passed away in 2005, I think. And so this must have been like 2002, 3, or 4. We tee off. Me and her dad go to the golf course, and they pair us with a couple of guys, and it was my former boss at the machine shop. Nice. And he's like, oh my God, I haven't talked to him forever. And it's like, I was like, dude, I got to fess up. You were my favorite boss. And I says, I would have done anything for you. And I says, I just want you to know that you treated me so fair, and that if you asked me to come in on a Sunday, I would have come in for you on a Sunday because that's how you treated me. And I says, I learned a lot from you because I ended up being a boss at a couple of different places, or at least being in charge of things there. And I used a lot of the skills that you did with me, I did with people. And I had people that would run through walls for me because I treated them so well. And so it was nice that I got to tell him that, and I learned from that, and I try not to be the jerk boss. I tried to be the good boss,
Mm-hmm. I had an old teacher come into the store. Maybe the sweetest gentleman, or there was 2 people at Harwood that were just the sweetest gentleman ever. One, I chased after his daughter. He would have been the perfect father-in-law. Never happened, of course, but not.
Did you at least get her?
No, that was the thing.
Oh.
I just, I got rejected early on at my time at the second high school, and I just did not need to go through that again because I thought I had a girlfriend, and she surprised. I think anyway, that's a long story, and just not worth going into. And so anyway, yes, this is a long story.
All right.
I will continue. And if
No,
it
no.
pleases the
Go
court.
ahead. Go ahead.
And so he was my French teacher and then my Latin teacher, because I did 2 years. My last 2 years I did Latin. I learned more French and Latin class than I did.
I liked Latin. I took Latin. I
love
like Latin.
I can't declinate a verb, but I understood a lot more about English from the 2 years in Latin I took.
I wrote a paper. Okay, we had to write a paper at the end of the year in Latin, and I wrote.
Wow!
It was junior high. And I wrote this paper about the Celtics win over Houston in the finals to win the basketball championship, because it was in junior high in 79-80 or 80-81, one of the two.
Right.
And I wrote the whole thing in Latin. Chris Ford hit a 3-point shot to win at the end, and I did the whole thing in Latin. I wish I still had it to this day.
That would be cool.
It was really cool that I wrote. And in fact, even the first word was like the Summit. It was in Latin because that's where they played. It's I used to say like Boston or New York. So I put the Summit on there. So
I want to know what 3-pointer was in Latin.
I don't remember anymore. But hey, Danny,
how you doing, Danny? So anyway, he was older.
PJ wants to hear the story about the chicks.
Yeah. So he was older then. He was just a sweet. He's still a sweet man. And so not the Latin teacher. I don't know his daughter. Actually, I do know his daughter. She was older. So
nice. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at that. Yeah. Nice, Danny. That is fantastic news. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
I feel I keep seeing car keys. And
there you go.
See you chasing her? Yeah.
So, no, this was someone else. So they come into the store, him and his wife, and he must have been in his 70s. And I nearly cried. I mean, it had been years since I'd seen him, and he just was. Again, it's an elective class. It's not someone that would follow life advice from, but we played along, and he was always just real sweet to me. It's like, and he was just as sweet 25 years after I graduated than he was when I was in school. I would do my homework in a red pen sometimes.
There you go.
Do different color pens, and he would grade it with a green marker. I mean, the type of relationship. So anyway, yeah, I hear you.
Neil, how the Steelers gonna do, man? They got I was hearing from like Shine On Sports and guys like that they should have grabbed who was the guy that went to New Orleans? Winston from the Buccaneers went to New Orleans. There is that he should have went to Pittsburgh as the Roethlisberger backup.
And instead, right? I'm surprised.
36 holes in a week. Yeah, we used to go out on Tuesdays. We would play 27. Is that the four of us would play 18, and then me and a buddy would stick around and play 9 more. That's a long day. 27 holes of golf, and even with a cart, that's a long day. It really is. It really is.
Bears Den, it doesn't count if you're playing a quick play game, okay? It wasn't that long of a story.
That's pretty funny.
It's funny though.
I know the Steelers could be in trouble this year. They could be in trouble. I never caddied. All my buddies caddied, and I never did. James got third, really? Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to.
Maybe.
Don't know about Hill, but he's not going to beat out Breeze.
You want to hear something cool?
Sure.
So I posted on the Delphi forums that I just got Strat basketball, and I was looking for some teams, but I'm just a casual player. So, I mean, because people are like, oh, go on eBay. It's like, yeah, $100. I'm not paying $100 for a season of basketball. It's not worth it to me, right? This one guy sends me a private message. He goes, dude, I got like a 1980 season with Larry Bird's rookie season. He goes, you want $40? He's like, I get every team. I was like, are you kidding me? So it's like, dude, I'll send it to you, And so it just sounded like he just didn't play it anymore. It's like, I go, I'm not a collector, so I can't top dollar. He's like, what do you think? I was like, perfect. So that was like so cool. I get the rookie season coming in, and he goes, they don't even make it anymore. And I was like, that is sweet. So he like really helped me out. That was pretty cool. So
That's
that was one big good news because I sent him an email. It's like, dude, I can't offer you a lot of money for this. I'm not a collector. I'm not paying top dollar, but whatever you think. He's like, how about $40? I was like, I thought he was gonna say like 140,
Yeah, 'cause some of those sets run for a lot of money.
They do. I mean, he could probably sell that for $100. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's about what I'm looking to spend because I am not looking to go and get heavily into basketball like I did
That's
with the
a
hockey.
fun team because it's Dave Cowan's last year.
Oh, he was with Bird?
He was with Bird the last year.
Oh, that's going to be so fun.
You get Pistol Pete Maravich too, I think, as well. So you get some great players. McHale's not there yet. It's Cedric Maxwell.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think you also get Dennis Johnson.
I think I found some fan strat cards.
Strand. Yes. I can't. Now you got me not saying.
Yeah, it's one of those. So I'm like, I'll grab one of those and just have a good Celtics team to play.
That's a fun team. That team won 60 games.
Yeah, so that should be a good time. That should be a fun time. Yeah, something went well today. I was like, okay, good. It's like I expected this guy to want a ton of money, so I'm like, I don't know. So I've been enjoying the basketball.
Jamal Wilkes wasn't with the Celtics; he was with the Lakers.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. I think I already put up there, but
Strat fan. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was called. And I'm fine with that because, like I say, this is not something I'm looking to sell and make money on. I just want to play the games.
It's Magic's rookie year. It's Dr. J in his prime. I mean, that's just it's a fun season. It's also first year of the 3-point shot.
That's the one I did in Latin too.
Yes. Yeah, Tiny Archibald too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow, Neil, really? You had paper dice football game. Nice. Yeah, a lot of the people in here right now, especially on the YouTube there, we play a lot of the cards and dice stuff, a lot of Stratomatic and Apper and things like that. So that's why you hear a lot of cards and dice talk, and it might but yeah, we play those games. I'm an old man now. I don't do the video games that much because I'd rather roll the dice and play Larry Bird than try to figure out this and be.
You would think so. That there would be enough, just hear me out on this, enough nostalgia that if one of the companies went with, let's say, NBA Live 1980, that they would sell some units. Wouldn't obviously sell as much as the current year.
Well, it's funny you say that. Let me show you guys this. I've been sitting on this for a while. I've been sitting on this. Give me 1 second to call it up. So make some noise.
All right. So Midlight played the hell out of that 79-80 season with your brother. It really was an awesome year. Because there's a lot of, in the East, there's a lot of parity. Philadelphia won the conference. Boston's good. I think Milwaukee started to be good. But Bird versus Dr. J at that first year. Who else was good that year? There's some good battles in the 80s. I'm sure there's good battles today, but you ready? Or am I still vamping for you?
Almost. Check this out, guys.
Okay.
This is legit, and I've been waiting for this game to drop. I think it might be out, but anyway, here goes.
Steamer.
Here goes. Nope. It's computer game.
Ooh.
All right. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
It's the people that made 2K Sports have been working for years on this game. And they keep tweaking it, and I don't know if it's available yet, but it's a work in progress.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Is this awesome?
Dryden in the net
with his mask.
Yeah. Oh, Hockey Night in Canada, Saku Koivu.
Yep.
That looks like Saku Koivu.
Yep. They did a pretty good job of this thing.
Guy Carbonneau, Damfus, Mats Naslund. We can see Doug Harvey without a helmet and the old gloves. Nice faces. Those are good. Lafleur. Wow. Okay, let's see. Oh, the Rocket. Oh yeah, imagine the Rocket versus. See, there's my hero, Beliveau. Do we actually get to see any gameplay here, or just
this is well, there is gameplay. This is introducing. There we go.
Okay. Nice.
Cheevers with his mask.
Yeah.
O'Reilly, Busick.
The Chief. So when is this out?
I'm not 100% sure. I think they released a beta. I haven't set it up yet. Oh, look at this. I mean, this is what I would play this. It looks like it's nice and simple. It's all the guys I want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, this is slap shot from right there, really.
Richard would do that too.
But was that Bork and Oron defense?
Oh, I love it with the old CBC logo
Corner.
and the Canada Cup logo. This is awesome.
Oh, look at those jerseys. Oh, it takes them out, huh? Bergeron and Gainey. This is so cool. Middleton.
Oh, Doug Harvey.
That's my favorite Bruin after Orr Middleton.
Oh, we could have fun with this.
Yep.
I love it. The old crease and the trapezoid.
Yeah, right. So that is
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, Stefan, that was awesome. The night of the 100th anniversary to watch them all take practice.
So they keep putting up more videos, just like some gameplay and stuff. A lot of it's but that was one of the newer ones there.
I used to have some of the 72 football cards when I was a kid, but I lost all those over time. The 78 baseball cards had a baseball game on them. Those were the orange back ones. What's the game called? I think it's 2K Hockey. Well,
So, yeah.
I think though because I don't know. I mean, you could do it once and see if people would buy. And hockey fans are rabid. There's no half pregnant thing with hockey.
Yeah.
Even if it was just all-time rosters.
Trying to find a couple more minutes here to.
That was incredible.
It's just the old time players. It really was. It's just, it was just so cool. So they keep showing all these improvements. They get some gameplay, but then they're like, "Hey, we did this," and "Hey, we did that." So all these things are here. It's what's it called? It's 2K Hockey on YouTube if you want to check it out. 2K Hockey.
That's awesome.
Look at this one right here. I'll show you this one too. This is kind of funny. You guys see all that? Okay.
Extol Pro and Mario Lemieux. Okay.
Throws the puck at him. There you go.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I've been following that for a little bit. That looks like it could be fun. Now, what you have to do with that, you have to actually buy a Nintendo game. You have to buy something for the old, no, not Nintendo, Wii. I think it's a Wii game.
So it's not going to be able, so you can't buy it for the Retron 5 or whatever.
No. I have the game here somewhere. I wish I could put my finger on it, but I think it's like 2K11. You have to buy 2K11 for the Wii, and then what you do is you put that in your computer, and then there's a whole list of instructions you got to do to install it and get it to work. And I don't think you really got to configure too much, which is good because there's some games that you can get emulators to run the old PS2 games, but you got to really mess with your computer BIOS. I'm like, I don't want to do that really.
No.
But this one you still got to do a couple things. Or is in the game. I'm pretty sure. I'll show you the Bruins if I can find the Bruins. They get the North Stars. They get Canada, Russia from '87.
That might have been the best international hockey ever played.
All right, so I'll show you the Bruins one here. So we'll get that going 1 second here. This game is going to be really fun. So I'll show you this. Then I'll get back to the comments in 1 second, guys. So here's this. So let's take a look at the Bruins.
That's Bo.
So you got Phil, obviously. I used to like Borky. Steve Vickers. I used to like the Rangers. I really did.
Andy Bathgate.
Well, there's Orr. Dick Clapper.
Talked about him. Chara.
I mean, how good is that going to be? Chara, Orr, and Bork on the Bruins with Esposito up front. I mean, oh my God, Chivas in the net. This is like, dude, this is unbelievable.
Well, the old Hockey Night in Canada graph, logos.
I wonder who else is in net.
Krejcic.
Oh, Messier. Bergeron. I thought I saw Don Sweeney in there.
I love the mix of the old and the new. That's just great.
So I see Middleton, obviously. Middleton, Esposito.
Oh, I love it in the Hockey Night logo. Achievers.
The beginning probably showed you who the goalies were. I'll check out the beginning one more time. Big blast by Bork. Top corner on, who was that? Davidson?
30. Number 30 was.
Busick takes a hit. Backhander.
Yeah, they're going to emulate the old guard.
Oh, look at the mask on Davidson, will you?
Oh.
He's got the Davidson mask.
I love it. I'm sure the Hawks are in there too.
Sweeney. Esposito. Neely. Oh, yeah, cool. Cam. Oh, Cam, you ran into 20.
Neely with a knee-to-knee hit. Now, how mean is that?
Is that Shaw? Is that Eddie Shaw?
I'm sure.
O'Reilly with a backhander. Nice job, Terry.
Ooh, MSG. The old MSG logo.
Gilbert and Greshner. That's cool.
Nice hit. Rattel.
Nice.
Don Sweeney.
Don Sweeney made it into the game, huh?
Clapper.
Dick Clapper. I never knew him.
He's up in the rafters, though.
Eddie Shaw's on the team. O'Reilly with a big hit.
Did they go in the stands and beat people with shoes?
I'm not sure. Bork with a nice hit.
With Roger Vickers.
Steve Vickers.
Oh, Steve Vickers?
Yeah. Saved by Davidson right there. Busick. God, just can't beat him. Bobby Orr. Look at that. Who would not play a game with Bobby Orr?
Now, what they should do for the Bruins ice like that, if you remember, before they put ads on the ice, they used to have the United Way logos.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Who are the goalies? Let me go back to the beginning here. See who the goalies were.
Right.
So Don Marcotte, Milt Schmidt's in there.
Nice.
Leo Boyven. And the goalies are Rask. Chivas and Rask. Let me see if they got what do you want? Blackhawks. Right? North Stars. I don't know if they got a Seals. They got Whalers.
Oh, Islanders. Clash of Visions. Gilly Bossier, the actual line. That's great.
Morrow, Pilon.
Yep.
Smith, and DiPietro. DiPietro.
Wow. All right. They got us playing the Flames. That's interesting. You'd have thought it would have been Edmonton or the Flyers. La 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 Fontaine.
Yeah.
Great job with this.
Oh, he's got that mask on. I thought they'd go with the birdcage mask. Just couldn't stand that guy.
No.
Is that Vernon?
Vernon, yeah.
Vernon, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if they got any seals. We'll watch the Islanders. Oh, that's it for the Islanders. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if they got any seals for me and PJ here. Well, they got Sabres, they got North Stars, Sharks.
Asking for the Blackhawks. Go up to the Blackhawks. Bearson was asking for the Blackhawks. So who's on that roster?
Oh, let me back it up a little bit.
Espo and Belfour, huh? Eh? Magnets and Palat. There we go.
Hull, Makita, Toes.
Oh.
One more time.
Yeah, pause it.
Ronick, Monty, Sharp, Dirk Graham, Larmer,
Cracker.
Magnuson, Wilson, Duncan, Esposito, and Belfour in the net.
Now, if they it looks like the new place, because you'd want the organ for Chicago, right?
It might be in there. Like I said, I haven't checked out any of the sounds yet. But if I can play with Orr and Tony Esposito,
Loops.
not quite the Tony Esposito mask, but
No, and the Gatorade bottle kind of gives that away too.
Warren, didn't know him. Magnuson, remember Magnuson.
Bobby. Oh. Rowan.
JR, nice. Oh, they got Keon out there.
It's interesting because they got
Somling.
the 80s maple loops unis there.
I love those. The 80 81s, I think they were. They were great. All right, play the game here, will you?
Koharski, have another donut, you fat pig.
Oh, who's in the net? With the beard. No mask.
Glenn Hall.
Bauer. Johnny Bauer.
Bauer Hall.
Johnny Bauer. With a mask and a beard? I think that's Johnny Bauer, right? Number 1.
I thought it said Hall.
No mask. That's nuts.
And Nikita without a helmet. That's not true. Nikita always played with a helmet.
Oh, look at the old skates.
Oh,
I just caught that. They have the old skates.
And Espo with the old pads.
See if I can get that goalie's name. Oh, let me back that up. Hang on a sec.
Bauer, you're right. Johnny Bauer. Good for you, Dave.
Yep, caught that. Esposito. Wonder if he does the butterfly.
Nesterenko. Eric.
Oh, Tony.
He
Oh,
does! He's sitting on a skeister.
that was a nice save.
That's too bad you have to own that other game, though, because that would be a must-buy.
Yeah. If they could just make that stand alone, but I don't even think they're charging for this. To tell you the truth.
That's incredible.
I think it's just something they're doing as a fun project because I talked to them a little bit and they were just saying, yep, all you got to do is just download this game and we'll send you the files or go here. So Malosh is in net. Is PJet with us? We got Malosh for you, PJet. If PJet is still here.
I love it.
Oh, is this at the Bloomington? The Met?
Yeah.
Cicerelli.
They're getting their revenge on the Penguins.
I love these uniforms.
I
don't remember. Smith, Bobby Smith, I remember. Madano. Ron Shark's playing for the Penguins in those uniforms, huh?
Madano. He only played in Minnesota 1 year, right? Before they moved.
I think so, yeah. There's Malosh. Woohoo!
Gio Malosh. I love it. He's got the butterfly going, too.
Yeah, he was a SEAL that went from California to Cleveland to Minnesota.
Right, when Cleveland merged with their Barrasso.
Barrasso. You know, Barrasso was a Massachusetts guy.
Was he?
Yep. He played for Acton Boxborough up here. Any other teams you want to check out? Buffalo, Pittsburgh, I don't really care. St. Louis.
Up there. Oh, the Whale?
Check out the Whale.
Dun, 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 dun. Francis, Cole, and Deneen, Tippett, Brenda Moore, and Oni. Okay, and Liut better be in net. Yep.
Cam Ward, huh?
So they must be doing it along with Carolina because Ward never played in Hartford. Kevin Dineen and Trevor Linden.
Adam Burt. They're playing Vancouver. That's a weird matchup.
They haven't had any, except for the Canadians and the Bruins, and the Rangers. The matchups have been weird.
Yeah.
Because you'd have thought the Islanders and Edmonton would have been there, or Philly.
Same.
Mulvey. And look, they actually got Fudgy on the shoulders.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
This is good stuff.
They got Coke and Pepsi ads. That's weird. And Nordique. How many times can you...
Lafleur on the first line, Sakic on the second line? Woo-hoo-hoo!
Was in net.
Bouchard.
Wow, at least they didn't go with Wah.
And Varlamov? I never heard of Varlamov. Dan Bouchard. Oh,
Okay, so they got Quebec playing in Colorado.
I thought it was Montreal.
Pepsi Center? They're playing in Colorado.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The rink. Oh, that's okay. Well, but that's because they left Quebec to go to Colorado, right?
And with the Coke ads. Lafleur was a winger. He was never a center, was he?
I don't know. They had him on center. Stastny.
I'm about to say, how many Stastnys we sticking in here?
Well, probably at least 2.
Yeah, I saw Anton, and Peter.
Forsberg? He never was a Nordique, was he?
No, this was a combo Quebec, Colorado. Which was why I'm surprised that Wah wasn't there. Unless Wah's the backup in Montreal. But goodness, you could have gone any way, 50 directions for goalies from Montreal.
Right.
Steve Shutt, Gillis, and Gusarov. Kamensky, Adam Foote. Yeah, I don't remember Guy ever playing center, right wing. I don't think he played center in New York either.
I don't remember.
Oh, I love it.
Yep, good stuff.
I love it.
So I stumbled on that game about a year or so ago, but that's
wow.
That's great. Yeah. But yep. Yeah, they could have put a lot of different guys in there.
That's great. That's great. The old rectangle, the old crease.
Yep, that was fun. That was interesting to see. Yeah,
you would think the big clue was the nostalgia market the way it is. That look, all you gotta do is you already have the basics of the game anyway. I'm not saying you should take NHL 21 and market it as NHL 80 or something like that, but
NHL 19 and 20, not so much 19 but 20, they do have a lot. They have 200 retro players in the game, and when I bought 19, you couldn't play with them really, but now you can. In NHL 20, you are allowed to play with them, but you're still playing NHL 20.
You're still playing a complicated console.
That's why this game here is built off of something that's 9 years old.
Wii too, right?
Probably a lot less complicated.
Do you need to have the Wii plug into a computer?
No, you just need the disc. You just need the game.
Okay.
And you put the game in the computer, and then there's a whole list of instructions of what you got to do to get those files onto the computer and get the computer to recognize the game. And so it's a big to do about it, but it didn't look like I had to change any of my computer settings, which I'm not going to do and mess things up, But
awesome. Yeah,
that was kind of cool. That was a fun thing to look at tonight. So I pulled out my Status Pro hockey. I think I was talking a little bit before the show about that. I got to print out a couple of the charts, and I'm gonna kick that around.
What years did you get? Remind me.
I only got one year. I got 70-71.
The year the Bruins should have won the cup.
Yep. I always like that year because that's the year they didn't win. So that year is like a little mystique to it,
Oh.
Oh.
Yep. I've heard the story when they brought in Mel Allen to do the audio for that game. And, you're reading players' names. Dave Gardner, Ron Juckett, Robbie Wartburg, Al Red Sox fan, Joe Piscopo. He heard himself start to go sing-song. Dave Gardner, Ron Juckett, Al Red Sox fan, Robbie.
I'd imagine you would. Yeah.
And before anyone else did, and he made them stop and redo it. And when they played back the outtake, they finally heard it. But you're familiar enough with your own voice enough. No, I'm not happy with my work, which just goes to show Mel Allen, even around the time of his death, cared enough about his work. Like, nope, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
And Gowdy was just Gowdy. Do you remember? Did you have HBO in the late 90s?
Probably.
I remember at one point they gave us HBO. Might have been when I got my first broadband modem. And so we're watching Inside the NFL. And they had Gowdy do a retro piece every week. And
Really?
Gowdy hadn't been on television for a good 10 years. And Kurt was just on way too many things. But even that 2 or 3 minutes of talking about the Kansas City Chiefs or whatever, like, yep.
What was the name of the show?
Was Inside the NFL. It used to be done by Lenny Dawson and Nick Bonacani back in the 80s. And they would go through and they would go 2 or 3, kind of like This Week in Pro Football. And so they do 2 or 3 minutes of Harry Callis narrated highlights. In the rain at Arrowhead, Bill Kenny got picked off for the 48th time this year. That sort of thing. And then they would talk about they make predictions about the week ahead. And it was a good show back before 24-hour sports dominated the landscape. It would debut at like 7:00 on a Thursday night. So I could watch the debut before I had to go to bed. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I remember the HBO used to have a lot of the old football shows.
Tim McCarver got a start on HBO. He hosted a show called Race for the Pennant. It was the baseball version of This Week Inside the NFL, and was terrible. Yep, Bob Muir loved Inside the NFL. It's still on Showtime, by the way, but I'm sure. I mean, you can see highlights everywhere now, and that just wasn't the case when we were.
Well, that's the thing is that, not as an NFL network, and back then it wasn't, and you had ESPN, but they had other sports. But yeah, you had a dedicated show to football. That was kind of cool. Like This Week in Baseball. That was right. I used to watch that as a kid all the time. That was great. And I'm watching a lot of the This Week in the NFL.
Right.
This Week in Pro Football was actually called. So I'm watching some of those. So that's good stuff. So. Well, we've been on a little over an hour. Anything else you want to chip away at before we wrap things up and I can go tackle some hockey?
That was awesome. So, no, I mean, it was nice to be back and all that. Be doing some baseball tomorrow at noon, and it's supposed to rain here tomorrow. But it was, it's nice to get some sun today. It really was, and just, I think it's bad enough that we've all been locked in for as long as we have. But here in the Northeast, the weather has just been unseasonably cold.
And 2 more days of it, or 3 anyway.
Yeah, but at least there's there's a sign that something may be changing weather-wise. We had no new cases today. So, Alexa, what's the weather in Chattanooga, Tennessee?
Currently, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Tonight, you can expect lots of clouds with showers, with a low of 51 degrees.
Now, here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the woods this morning. So, thank you. So, no, I mean, that was fun.
I'll take that WC Monte.
So we got that going on, and what else? So you can try the Status Pro.
I'm gonna try Status Pro hockey tonight. I think we'll wrap up here, and I got to print out a couple of charts, and I'm gonna kick that around. I'm gonna see what I can do with that. See if I can get that to flow. So I tried it once before, and maybe now's the time to tackle it again. I want to give a couple more chances here over the next week or two.
So, Steve, I don't use my phone. I just use my phone as a phone. And so when I ask Madam Speakers for those reminders, it goes to my phone. So I answered my alarm this morning, and I haven't had text in a couple days. And so the first thing that pops up is, remind Steve to buy calamine lotion.
That's funny.
That was funny. It's also sad, but it's funny. So
Hopefully he got it. You know.
I think she was using something else, but yeah. So I'm gonna. So I tried that, and I did get the patch for the football game and ran it. My computer tried to say it was dangerous.
Oh, again, really?
Well, because those files don't get checked by Microsoft, and so few people actually do that. Buy these games. So they're looking at something going, only 15, 20 people or maybe 100 people had the file. And so you have to tell it no to keep it. And so I installed it, and then it gave me the Windows doesn't want to run this unless you trust it. No, I run it anyway. Alexa, what's the weather in Chicago?
In Chicago, Illinois, there's a flood warning in effect Thursday, April 30th, 8:20 a.m. to Monday, May 4th, 9 a.m.
Oh, man.
Current weather is 43 degrees Fahrenheit with rain. You can expect more of the same tonight, with a low of 43 degrees.
Oh, God.
Yuck.
That's
Witch hazel. That's the only thing that CVS and Walgreens have. Because when I went in there I was looking for alcohol swipes a couple of months ago, and
right. I remember.
that's when the panic started. And all the alcohol's gone, and you go there and it's like an empty shelf. Right in the middle is all these bottles. Like, is that alcohol? It's like, no, witch hazel. My grandfather's the only guy in the world I know that used witch hazel. He used to put it on after he shaved. I was like,
is that what they used it for? I remember.
He's like, oh, I love this witch hazel. I tried it. I was like, no.
The Habs won his tournament. Good for you, Tim. 13-1 in round robin play. That team, that was the first 60 win NHL team. That team is Steve Shutt scored 60 as a left winger.
I love shootout hockey. That's such a good game.
Robbie, I don't know how many videos up on the channel. It's like in the hundreds. So if I'm missing a day or two here, I'm not that worried. I'm back at it tomorrow. Football game uploaded, which was nice.
Yeah.
So there's always something of mine to watch. I've got 4 baseball games set to private that I've uploaded. I just got to put the names on them. I've been too tired, and they'll be there. So
nice. I got to get back on my videos too. I've been slacking a little bit with what's going on.
Come on, Uncle Ron's snake oil is sponsoring this spider season. Get to it.
I'm a little soured after that stealing thing. I was a little sour from that.
That was really weird.
So I'm gonna go back in. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. But I'm gonna zip ahead a month or two and just chip away at some of the games there. So we'll get some more Spiders baseball back on the channel. We'll see what else I can do tomorrow.
Besides, I'm waiting for my Victorian Corset Girls for the next issue of Locomotive Illustrated Monthly.
Locomotive Illustrated magazine. Yep, it's a good magazine to have.
Oh yeah, that's what. And what were some?
That was a big thing back in the day.
I just need some ladies laying on some cold hard steel.
That's what it is.
So all right.
All right, we're going to wrap things up here. Everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight. Had another good time chatting with everybody as we try to help each other through the day, so to speak. So I'm going to try to play some hockey tonight. I just got email that my basketball teams from 1980 will ship tomorrow. Yes,
that's awesome.
So I'm excited to play that, and I'm excited he gave me a wicked good deal on that, so I can play these without.
It's a good solitaire game too.
Yeah, it is. Yep. I did that. So, the witch hazel thing. Yeah, my grandfather used that. And oof. So, Tim, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight. And we had a good time doing our thing here. And, Johnny, thank you so much. And so, so catch Ron at noon tomorrow.
Yep.
I'll probably have some kind of other video up of some kind. I don't know if I'll go live or if I'll tape something, but I should try to do something tomorrow. Unless I really start figuring out the Status Pro hockey and get into it, then I'll do something with that. But we'll be back on. So Ron at noon tomorrow. Hopefully back here tonight with us. And
Rangers, Angels.
Okay.
Texas is sitting on a 13-game winning streak. Watch Uncle Ron beat the Rangers.
Ooh, there we go. If you want to beat the Rangers, just have Al play the Rangers.
Oh, snap.
That a little burn. I was loving the Action PC. Good.
The
Good.
football, yeah, it is a good game. They're all good games.
Yep, I will. I'll get back tomorrow night because I'm going to play it a little bit tonight here on the desktop, and we'll see
And
how
you
it
get
goes.
another unboxing video for me next week when the golf comes out. So
Oh yeah, I got that too. I got it just for the courses. I got 10 courses for $29.
it's been a couple of years since I bought it. So
Yeah, you might notice it. I'm not expecting anything vastly different, but for all those courses, so that's probably the last of the golf. I get tons of golf
Yeah.
on that, but
Bears Den, it was a little more than just a little stealing. It was every runner tried to steal, and that just didn't happen.
oh, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe it wasn't a glitch. Maybe that's just how it was. But I just thought
Not like not like that.
it was aggravating. It was.
Yeah,
it was aggravating. So, all right, we're gonna jump off of here. We'll see if anybody else is on tonight doing something. But
Sure, there will be.
yeah, we'll stay here with the YouTube community with somebody else on tonight and Ron at noon tomorrow, and I'll have something up tomorrow somewhere somehow. I might even play some Sega hockey tomorrow. You never know.
Sega.
Sega. So talk to everybody later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.